Andre says, what's the difference between single and split definitions? All right. So in the body graph, you have the 9 centers. And the 9 centers are interconnected. Some connect just one to one, some of them connect to multiple ones, and when a center is defined, it doesn't have a consistent energy that runs through it. It does have when it's defined, it has a consistent energy that runs through it. When it's open, it doesn't have consistent energy running through it. So when it's defined, it means it has definition, and it can only be defined if two are connected. So when you have, for example, the root and the spleen, so 2 centers, if you have them connected, that's called a definition. That means they are connected and there's a constant surge of energy going from the root to spleen and back. And that is basically called a single definition, meaning that one surge of energy is going through centers. So that can mean it doesn't have to be 2. It can be root, spleen, throat, ajna, head. So those are 5 centers. And between the 5 centers, there is one constant, unbroken surge of energy. That's single definition. A split definition would be you have throat and spleen defined, and on the other side you have ajna and head. But this definition, ajna and head, is not connected to the other definition, which is root and spleen. So you have a definition, and those are root, spleen, ajna, head, but they are 2 and 2. This one and then the other one, and they are split. So you have definition here, ajna and head, but the ajna doesn't connect down to the spleen or the root, but the root and the spleen are connected with themselves. So you can have split, you can have triple split, which is 2 here, 2 here, and then 2 maybe solar plexus and heart. And you can have quadruple split, which is the most rare, which is like 0. I don't know how much percent, is like between the 9 centers you have 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and maybe 3 here, all connected. They are connected among themselves, but they're not interconnected in those groups. Andre, does that answer it? Do you understand? Also found out recently that if you have a split definition and it's very close, so let's say you have ajna, throat, and then the next one is spleen, root, and between the spleen and the throat there is only like one, there is just it's very close to one another, but they're not connected. It can feel, for those people that have a split definition that's almost not split, so very close to being split, that those people always, they have a theme in their life where they're trying to always bridge that gap. They're trying to find people that have those connections, that can connect this part of them with the lower part of them, or left part of them with the right part of them, because they feel the left part and they feel they have the right part, or the upper part and the lower part, and they just feel, oh, if I just only had this one gate and that one person could maybe just bridge this gap and make me feel complete. So if you have a split definition versus a single definition, people with single definition, in some areas of their life they can feel more like contained and enough to themselves, while split definitions may in some areas feel more like they're seeking for that thing to bridge the gap between the split definitions. That's just a possibility. But the splits impact energy movement throughout the body. It can, yeah, because if it's split, then you have 2 energy. It's like you have one energy running through here and then one energy running through these centers. So it's like having 2 engines, perhaps, or 2 awarenesses, or 2 pressures, or 2 manifestation and then a pressure, or one pressure here, or one awareness, one emotional awareness and one survival awareness. And it can be, it's like a scale. It can be like a scale. It can, yeah. Because single definition is one energy surge that's going through maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 7, it doesn't matter if they're all interconnected. It's like a train track, but you have 2 train tracks like this, one next to the other, and they don't connect one to each other. One has this perspective and whatever you want to call it, and the other one has this, and they don't connect. They don't, it's not like they're anti each other. They're just separate. It's not a bad thing, it's just a peculiar thing, it's just a specific thing. It's not a bad thing. It can be a challenge. A single definition can be a challenge. I have like splits are better in relationships. I'm a single definition. I'm very stubborn about a lot of things, and I'm very non-conforming and very, very individual, and I will fight for anything. I will fight against anything that compromises me being me. I create lines here. Welcome to the channel. Subscribe, like, join the community. Feel free to ask questions in the comments and share your story. Check out my educational audio courses. Human Design Basics and Human Design Intermediate are donation-based, meaning that you choose how much to pay. Projector Masterclass is $222. Elemental Balancing is also donation-based. Book a session of Human Design Coaching for $111. Book a session of Holistic Therapy for $111. Join us on the Insight Timer app for live sessions. Get my free ebooks and join my newsletter. Everything mentioned has much more information and is described in detail and available on my website, icreatelines.com. Peace, health, and abundance.